everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card using sweetpickings along with decorative textures, background die, and also stitched fancy brackets. Okay, so this is the stamp set and it comes with coordinating thin cuts and then decorative textures and the brackets. I'm also going to use candy apple cardstock and gold foil and ballerina. Okay, so I'm making my card base. So instead of using the regular white card bases from Close to My Heart, I'm going to use this candy apple cardstock. So I'm cutting it on the light side and then scoring it at 4 1/4 inches. And then I'll cut it again at 5 1/4. Okay, so I want the dark side of candy apple to be on the inside of my card. So I'm folding that edge into the card. Okay, and now I'm just going to trim down my gold foil to 5 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inches. And this will be a border strip along the edge of the card. Okay. All right, now I'm going to bring my die cut machine in and I'm going to die cut the light side of ballerina using the decorative textures thin cut. Okay, so I'm securing it down with purple tape and I'll run that through. This one cuts a whole bunch of teensy tiny dots out. So the easiest way to get them out is to use this tool from Spellbinders and just rub it along the die and the little brush bristles poke through and poke out those little dots for you. Okay. All right, now I'm going to emboss with my die. Okay, so I'm using the instructions on my Spellbinders die cut machine and I'm laying down that embossing mat. It's that soft tan colored mat, and then I'm going to secure my gold foil to my die. Okay, so the face of the gold foil is going towards the cutting ridges on the die, and then I'll flip that over and then add my top plate and run that through. Okay, so your sandwich might differ depending on your die cut machine, so try things out, but you do need that soft mat to be able to emboss instead of cut with your die. Okay, now I'm going to run my stitched bracket through using white daisy. I'll cut that out. And then I'm going to emboss this one as well with the decorative textures. So I'm switching out all of my mats, putting that embossing mat in, and then I'm taking that die cut piece out and I'm going to tape it down to the cutting edge of my decorative textures die. Okay, so I'm just securing it with purple tape and then I'll flip that over so the cut edge is towards that tan mat, and then I'll run it through. So it's not going to cut, it's going to emboss. All right. Okay, now it's time for some stamping. I've got some white daisy cardstock and I'm going to use scarlet and candy apple, and I'm going to do the rock and roll technique on these two strawberry images. So I'm inking up the first one in candy apple and then I'm just rolling the edges in scarlet. Okay, ink it up in candy apple and roll the edges in scarlet. So usually you have to clean off your stamp in between stamping, but candy apple's dark enough that the scarlet won't really contaminate the ink pad, so I'm just going ahead and stamping. I got lazy there. So just ink it up and then roll it and stamp down. Okay, so these stamps come with coordinating toppers to your strawberries, so you can stamp them in green. So I'm using evergreen and I'm just going to stamp those down and finish off my strawberry. Okay, and then that one kind of fits in like a puzzle piece, and then I'll stamp those strawberry tops in evergreen. So these stamps have coordinating dies. So off camera, I cut them all out. And now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. It says, "You're so sweet." So I'm stamping that in black ink, and then I'll just trim around it. And then I'm going to dovetail one side. So just snip vertically, and then take each corner to meet that snip. And then you've got a little banner. So I'm going to doodle a little line around the edges of my banner with a journaling pen. So just draw along the edges there, and it kind of creates a little doodled border on my banner. Okay, now it's time to start assembling. I've cut 2 more of these stitched brackets in White Daisy, and you'll see what I'll do with them in a second. So first off, I'm going to lay down this die cut piece of ballerina, and I'm just using glue along that edge. And I'm using wet glue, so I have a second to kind of shift it if I need to and make sure it's placed correctly. And then I'm going to lay this piece of gold foil over that along the edge. So I'm going to attach that with glue as well, and I'm just putting my glue along the solid pieces so that none of the glue seeps through the little die cut holes on the card. And I'm going to use some black shimmer trim, so I'm just trimming this down to 5.5 inches. And then I'm going to cover up that seam, the edge of the gold foil, using the shimmer trim. And then I'll just trim off the excess. Okay, so this die cut bracket that I made, I'm going to place that down using some foam tape. And then I'm going to open up my card, and I'm going to layer one of these other White Daisy brackets in the same place so that the adhesive from the foam tape doesn't go through those holes and keep your card glued shut. So that kind of protects it. And then I'm going to do another one on the inside of the card where you can write your sentiment or message. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to cluster my strawberries on the front in that White Daisy panel using a combination of tape runner and foam tape, and then I'll add my sentiment. Okay, and that last strawberry I'm going to put on the inside of my card. So cute. And that's it. And here are a bunch of close-up shots so you can see the see-through front of the card. So all these supplies are currently available in my online store. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click on my photo or that subscribe button, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. I'll make a list of supplies with links in the description below, and thanks for watching.